of 2012, understanding Order 62.6 provides, Mr. Speaker, there is noise from Mr. Monyenye.
Order, honorable members.
Provides for appointment of the select committee comprising 5 members to investigate the allegations contained in the motion. Further, Section 43B of the County Government Act of 2012, understanding Order number 62.6, provides that the select committee shall report to the House whether it finds the allegations against the County Executive Committee member to be substantiated or otherwise. The committee membership, following the communication by the Speaker requesting the leader of majority and the leader of minority parties to submit names of the members for appointment to the select committee. Yes.
You may give the clerks like 2-3 minutes to be able to supply the
most obliged.
Yes.
Pursuant to Section 43, the County Government Act of 2012, understanding Order number 62.6, comprising of Honorable Michael Mutume, Honorable Victor Umbasa, Honorable Lilian Mundi, Honorable Baus Mayura, and Honorable Lilian Gore. Of having committed a crime, offense, or to the substantial detriment of his employer or employee's property as set out in Section 44G of the Employment Act, revised edition of 2022. There was nexus between the County Executive Committee member and the alleged misconduct. The allegations as framed state with a degree of precision the articles and sub-articles of the Constitution of the provisions of any other written law that have been alleged to be grossly violated. Number 2, gross violation of the Constitution. The committee executive member, Dr. Alfred Ndemo, purported to have been appointed by the governor to the implementation committee for the establishment of Kisii County Industrial Park, while knowing the same to be untrue, and therefore, by spearheading the project without authorization, breached the provision of Article 10, Article 232, and Article 73(2)(d) of the Constitution, which obligates public officers to observe the national values and principles of governance when making or implementing public policy decisions and requiring of their office high standards of professional ethics and be accountable to the public for the decisions and actions undertaken by the officer. Number 3, gross violation of other laws. The County Executive Committee member, Dr. Alfred Ndemo, authored and authored on 28 April 2023 a letter purporting to appoint him to the Implementation Committee for the establishment of Kisii County Industrial Park, while knowing that the same, to be false, constitute a breach of Section 9 of the Public Officer Ethics Act, which requires public officer to carry his duties in a way that maintains public confidence in the integrity of his office. The said acts by the CCM are in breach of provisions of the Leadership and the Integrity Act, in particular Section 3, which requires state officers to respect the values, principles, and requirements of the Constitution under Article 10 of the Constitution. The responsibilities of leadership provides for under Article 73 of the Constitution, the principles governing the conduct of state officers provided for under Section 75 of the Constitution. Particularly, a state officer shall behave in a manner that shall behave in a manner that avoids demeaning the office the officer holds in breach, whereof the officer may, in accordance with the disciplinary procedures, be dismissed or otherwise removed from office in so far as relevant the values and principles of public service and provided for under Article 232. Let's go to abuse of office. Abuse of office, number 46, page 46. The County Executive committee member, Dr. Alfred Ndemo, appeals this office contrary to Section 45, as read with Section 48(1) of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act number 3 of 2003. Being a public officer, he has used this office to improperly confer on himself a favor or advantage which he was not otherwise entitled to, as espoused in Philomena Mbele Mwilu versus DPP and others, and also in John Simiyu Kaemba and another versus the Republic of Kenya in 2020, that the offense of abuse of office is committed through improper use of public office, which could include conscious violation of non-adherence to the prescribed procedures and regulations with the aim of conferring a benefit on the public officer himself or another person. Committee findings, page 47. The committee finds that the allegations under ground number 1 on gross misconduct, ground number 2 on gross violation of the Constitution, ground number 3 violation of other law, and ground number 4 on abuse of office as outlined in the motion are substantiated. Having considered the provisions of Section 40 of the County Government Act 2012 and standing orders, the committee recommends to the House as follows: that pursuant to Section 43 of the County Government Act 2012, having found the allegations against the County Executive Committee member in charge of administration, public participation, and office of the Governor substantiated, the committee tables this report to this House for further considerations. I'm about to finish. However, the minority dissenting opinion on the report of the Select Committee investigating the proposed removal of Dr. Alfred Ndemo, the County Executive Committee member on administration, public participation, and office of the Governor. Honorable Baus Mairura and Honorable Lillian Gold recorded a minority or dissenting opinion against the report of the Select Committee, and they noted as follows. On gross misconduct, the mover claimed that the CCM trade authored and authored on 28th of April 2023 a letter purporting to appoint him with the implementation committee. When provided with an opportunity to ascertain the authenticity of the letter, the mover said that it was hard or difficult to confirm who had authored the letter. It was only known to him. On gross violation of the Constitution, the mover indicated that Article 10, 232 and 773 2D had been violated by the accused because he purported to have been appointed by the Governor to support his claim. The mover presented a committee with a typed letter which had no signature on the letterhead. Do hereby affix our signatures to this report on the Select Committee investigating the proposed removal of Dr. Alfred Ndemo, the Committee Executive Member on Administration, Public Participation, and Office of the Governor, to affirm our approval and confirm its accuracy, validity, and authenticity. And there you find Honorable Michael Mutume, Victor Umbasa, and William Gore. And of those who had there were two, and their signatures are fixed. That's Honorable Baus Mairura and Honorable Lillian Gore. Honorable Speaker, allow me to request my good friend, Madam Lillian Omundi, to second. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, as the members of the ad hoc committee, we had a chance to interact with the key witnesses At the same time, the County Executive Committee member, Dr. Ndemo, the mover for the motion, Honorable Richmond Rayori. At the same time, the advocate for both parties, Honorable Speaker. As a committee, we found out that number one, the County Executive Committee member, Dr. Ndemo, illegally created the position for the Human Resource Officer, Public Participation Disaster Management, which was not within his mandate. Number two, Honorable Speaker, by the virtue of his position as a County Executive Committee member, Dr. Ndemo bullied employees in order to get information from other departments. Also, he uttered and authored the letters for his personal gains. Number three, Honorable Speaker, Dr. Ndemo assigned himself an enforcement officer as his bodyguard without following the right procedure or without following the proper procedure. Finally, Honorable Speaker, there is breach of leadership and integrity code. Therefore, the County Executive Committee member, Dr. Ndemo, should take personal responsibility for his code of conduct and serve as an example to the rest of other County Executive Committee members who are violating the Constitution at the same time and going against the law. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
8, 9, and 10. I paraphrase. 8. No further proceedings shall be taken on the matter if the Select Committee finds the allegations unsubstantiated. Number 9. If the Select Committee reports that it finds the allegations substantiated, the County Assembly shall afford the members of the County Executive an opportunity to be heard and vote whether to approve the resolution requiring the member of the County Executive to be dismissed. If a resolution requiring the Governor to dismiss a member of the County Executive is supported by a majority of the members of the County Assembly, the Speaker shall promptly deliver the resolution to the Governor and the member shall be considered dismissed. Honorable members, this is your time to debate.
And I was given the honor to serve the honorable members as the leader of minority in this House, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the members who did this report. And Mr. Speaker, I remember having asked the mover of the motion to withdraw this. And Mr. Speaker, I rise with a lot of humility to oppose this motion. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the report, even what Motuma has alluded here, Mr. Speaker, does not have substantive matters.
Honorable Leader, I want to believe, just a minute, I want to believe that it's not Honorable Motuma who was alluded. It's the committee report.
Yes,
so
I'm saying
like
he read,
who was met those recommendations.
Yes, thank you for the correction. Mr. Speaker, this does not meet the threshold of removing the CEC who has barely served 1 year in office. Mr. Speaker, these are matters to me that are very light, that the governor can use other means to make some, if there are any administrative measures. Mr. Speaker, when we talk about impeaching a person who has a PhD, who has gone up to London School of Economics to study, you are asking this House to send a young man home and he will never be employed by anybody, Mr. Speaker. This is a young man who has a young family. The youngest child is only 5 months. And you are asking us, people elected and entrusted by the people of Kisii County, to destroy the life of this gentleman, for simply asking if that is true, a man who is allowed to work under him as an enforcement officer, just to play God. Mr. Speaker, really, if you look at it, the seat. Mr. Speaker, I know Dr. Ndemo campaigned vigorously for Governor Simbarat. He personally came up to my home to ask me to vote for Governor Simbarat. And Mr. Speaker, in Kenya, like in other countries, like in America, when people campaign, they expect, even those people who support us, Mr. Speaker, a lot of them even now expect us to give them jobs. Ndemo is one of the beneficiaries who have gained from this government, and we are sending him home. And we have also done a lot within a very short time, Mr. Speaker. I am asking the governor of Kisii County to avoid destroying lives of the people he gave jobs in government. If he doesn't want them to serve, he can ask them to resign. To impeach means what has happened to Sonko in Nairobi and Babayao in Kiambu. People who will never be able to serve anywhere in the office. This is a man who can teach in the university, he can work anywhere. So with the powers we have, let us not use them. So I want, as I said with humility, to ask my colleagues not to impeach this gentleman. It's very painful to give somebody a job and agree within 12 months you want to destroy the life of a man who is trying to make life ends meet. So, Mr. Speaker, even I'm looking at the committee, our team from here, they say the people who made the allegations could not answer their questions. They came and they ran away. So, Mr. Speaker, these claims here are not substantiated and they don't meet the threshold. So I want to urge my colleagues, please, reprove this man, and then he can find another way of exiting from the government, because life can proceed for him without necessarily being a CEC. But let us not destroy him by impeaching him. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, tomorrow any one of us can become a CEC in a county government. Myself, yourself, or any other. You do not have to go through this mudslinging. Your sister or brother can become a CEC, or they are. Imagine of this. And, Mr. Speaker, through the leadership of the government, Honorable Leader, my friend, please let us find other ways of resolving our differences in government without bringing impeachments. These are painful processes. They are provided there for people who have gross misconduct. Mr. Speaker, asking an enforcement officer to, and you know he was working for the government, it's not a gross misconduct, Mr. Speaker. These letters, he has a letter appointed by the governor that Order Richmond disputes, but he was given a letter by the governor to act in what he did. So, Mr. Speaker, for me, and I am sure my colleagues will agree with me, let us not impeach this. This does not meet the threshold, and let us, as representatives of the people of Kisii County, be used to destroy instead of building the lives of the people whom we have been entrusted. We have powers of the High Court. We have been elected by the people of Kisii, and to be given the powers to assist them. Mr. Speaker, there are a lot of other issues. There are other CECs who have never done anything. In fact, Dr. Ndemo doesn't even have a budget. There are people who have not even constructed.
I think we have, I'm very sorry for my lot of minority for misleading in the House. Since we could have gone through the documents. The accused person, who is the minister, that is for public participation, Dr. Ndemo, is also my good friend. But when it comes, Honorable Speaker, when it comes to the rule of law, it cuts across. Whether you are my brother, whether you are my mother, I don't care. This is a public office that this gentleman was given to serve. Having a PhD doesn't guarantee one to contravene established laws. Actually, many learned fellows outside here are suffering. Others are using their academic qualifications to con people, to molest the law. We must bring sanity to this system. Even if it is a governor, I don't care. I will not hesitate to bring the motion. But for this one, Honorable Speaker, we have every right. This is not a political witch hunt. It is a contravention of the law, which is very clear. And the leader of minority attended the proceedings. He could have really understood what I meant. So, Honorable Speaker, for this time, we had allegations of fake letters. You cannot purport to fake a letter to award yourself a responsibility of going to draw allowances from the public coffers. Then, in the name of saying you have a PhD, man, we have gone to school. We have a lot of people here, Honorable Speaker, who have gone to school. You cannot use your academic qualifications thinking that you cannot break the law, Honorable Speaker. For Honorable Speaker, I would urge honorable members to have a brief at the document. They make a decision as the committee made. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Somebody is impeached or is removed from office, Mr. Speaker, cannot hold office, Mr. Speaker. I want to remember what was done to Honorable Kindiki Kithure. He was a deputy speaker in the Senate, Mr. Speaker. He was removed. And they were saying how good he was, Mr. Speaker. But currently, Mr. Speaker, he is a minister. He was removed by impeachment. 50, the last paragraph. On allegation on breach of Leadership and Integrity Act, Section 34, that bars the state officers from bullying. We checked with the mover, who provided the following names of officers who had been bullied, who the mover had alleged had been bullied. 1, Wilfred Hoga Mageto, Diana Okemwa, and Lilian Maisiba. Invitations were forwarded to these individuals. They honored the summons. They all left the premise without the permission of the chair. The committee did not have an opportunity to hear from the individuals who were bullied by the accused. On this charge, bullying, there was no testimony. Honorable Speaker, when you see the committee make a conclusion of people who are bullied and say the evidence was actually accused, and then here there is a report that all the 3 witnesses who were bullied were summoned. They come and sat there as the proceedings were going on. They actually rose and walked away. And the committee made findings and said that allegation has been substantiated, Honorable Speaker. And the women said they feared the move. And so, under which were you making conclusion of substantiation for people who have actually walked away? Because those people are not there to provide evidence. Honorable Speaker, it can only tell you the manner and the determination that is there, Honorable Speaker, to send this Honorable Ndemo. Honorable Speaker, let me make this last remark. I am a Christian in the church. Honorable Speaker, I want to say a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Matthew chapter 7 verse 12 says, so whatever you wish that others will do to you, do also to others, says the Lord. Honorable Speaker, as you sit on that chair, and as honorable, we have young people, we have young children. I have 3 daughters and a boy in my house. They are growing and I will be struggling to get jobs for them. What I expect for them to be done today is what will be done to my children, Honorable Speaker. And I don't think there is any honorable member here who will teach his own daughter or boy to the university And before they reach the apex of their retirement, they see them being sent home. The same is repeated in Luke chapter 6, verse 31. That when you treat all as you wish to be treated, but above all, treat them as God has treated you. And I want honorable members to ask, in which manner has God treated them? As God has treated them, let them treat Honorable Ndemo, this Honorable Speaker, and I submit.
That each member who stands, Mr. Speaker, should at least debate for 2 minutes to allow every member to debate. If we come to this house, Mr. Speaker, and everybody start preaching like Honorable Amos, we are not going to move out of this occasion. So I'm requesting that members, kindly you allow us 2 minutes each so that every member can have an opportunity to debate. And I ask Honorable Mutume to second.
To be among the members in the other committee that was constituted by this assembly to go and investigate this CEC, whether he qualifies for an impeachment or not, Honorable Speaker. I did record my dissenting voice, Honorable Speaker, but more important, I want to bring to this House that, Honorable Speaker, when we judge members as a court, Honorable Speaker, or when the court judges, Honorable Speaker, it should be an evidence beyond no reasonable doubt for one to get charged, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want the House to know that among the 4 witnesses we interrogated, Honorable Speaker, none, not even one, Honorable Speaker, had an issue with the CC administration, Honorable Speaker. And that tells you, the Honorable House, Honorable Speaker, as we are going to make a verdict, what can guide us, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, some witnesses even dropped and said they cannot appear because they did not have any information regarding the matter that was up before us, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it pains me as a young man and as a young father that today it can go into history, Honorable Speaker, that I was part and parcel of members of an assembly that sent somebody to political oblivion, career oblivion, and that makes us understand what the lives of that young man
You have 2 minutes are done, but I can add it at second.
are going to go to, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to quote one man called Charles Bokosek, who lived in the year 1920 to 1994, Honorable Speaker. Charles Bokosek said, Honorable Speaker, injustice, he said that maybe injustice is injustice until it happens to you, Honorable Speaker. And that was the harsh truth, Honorable Speaker. I urge the member that today, Honorable Ndemo may accept the verdict of this House, and they can leave us to the Bible, Romans chapter 12, verse 19 to 21, whereby we are told that let God avenge for those who cannot revenge. And Honorable Speaker, all of us knows that God's revenge is more painful than any other revenge on this world, Honorable Speaker. I want to urge the members with a lot of humility and a lot of kindness, let us not impeach Dr. Ndemo. There are more ways of solving crisis. We can use arbitration, we can use mediation, and Honorable Speaker, that can end us in a serious, sober way of solving crisis when they arise, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, with those very few remarks, I beseech this Honorable House to give a verdict that can go into history and that will not let God avenge on behalf of Dr. Ndemo.
Ours as an assembly is to legislate, represent, and oversight. And on behalf of the people of Ichuli, I'm rising to support the motion that is before this August House. Mr. Speaker, while the other members are contributing and giving alternatives on how this motion could have been approached before, I want to remind them that we have the responsibility as a House not to arbitrate, but to oversight and legislate. Every state officer has an obligation and a moral a moral obligation to abide by the oath of affirmation that we took and ensure that the principles and values governing the conduct of public officers is keenly observed. Mr. Speaker, when you go through the information or arrest evidence that has been given, it is either wrong for a CEC to give himself duties which clearly lies on a different entity, especially where you find a CEC creating a position in his office illegally and going to an extent of recruiting and assigning to a specific individual work that does not belong to him, but belongs to the service board. Mr. Speaker, it is wrong for a CEC to write and impersonate a letter conferring himself a benefit against the Leadership and Integrity Act that expects all state officers to respect and uphold the principles and requirements of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, because I'm seeing that this motion wants to be drawn as a contest between those maybe who are perceived to be for the government and those who are perceived maybe to be anti-government, because I'm seeing some narrations whereby the name of the governor is being drawn into it. But I see that it is the governor who is doing or is transacting the business of this house. The responsibility of voting lies squarely on the members in this assembly, and they have a decision to make, and we should not drag governor into this, but rather let us exercise the mandate that we were given power by our people from our respective wards. And as I conclude, Mr. Speaker,
2 seconds.
yes, as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, this is not a favor we are doing, but it's our work we are doing. So let us do the right thing and let us send a signal that those state officers who are doing what is contrary to the law should face the law and they should go where they belong.
There's nowhere I've seen that the witnesses did not testify, they ran away from the committee proceedings or the select committee we selected. But I've heard one member from Bokimonge saying that some witnesses ran away. I don't know, those are emotional from the streets or because he was not part and parcel of the committee we selected. Number two, Mr. Speaker, our work is to oversight. Our work is not to mediate.
Public participation, and Office of the Governor. Dr. Alfred Ndemo Ongera, tabled on 28 May 2024.
This is standing order, Mr. Speaker. I am very clear on the issue of Speaker and the
Sit down. Let's follow the procedures of this house. Have your seat. I will not listen to you until you sit down. Until you sit down and keep quiet, I will not listen to you. Honorable members, Honorable Mary has raised an issue. I am in the process of answering him. Do you want me to leave the chair so that you can come and answer him? Then allow me to do my work. I will give you at the right time. Let's not live like in a market. Honorable members, Honorable Mary has asked for a question. And my duty is to make a ruling. You cannot cut me in the middle of making a ruling.
No. Yes. No. 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 Yes. No. No. Yes. No. Yes. 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 No. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. No. 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 Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. No. Yes. 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 No. 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 Yes. Stay. No. No. Yes. No.
Vincent, sit down. I want to see in front.
It's not marked. Written from behind, yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. No. No.
Honorable members.
No.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 42,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Public Service, County Administration, Public Participation, and Office of the Governor, Dr. Alfred Ndemo Ongera. The votes are as follows: yes 24, no 43, abstain 1, spoiled 1. Honorable members, Section 40, Section 6 of the County Government Act states that if a resolution under subsection 5B is supported, that the members of the Assembly, the Speaker of the County Assembly, shall promptly deliver the resolution to the Governor, and the Governor shall dismiss the County Executive Committee member. I need to read it. The member of the County Assembly of Kisii on the removal from office of the County Executive Committee member, CECM, Public Service, County Administration, Public Participation, and Office of the Governor, Dr. Alfred Ndemo Ongera, stands not removed from office. The resolution 6A of the County Government Act 2012. Honorable members, next order.
Sengima ncheno Mheshimiwa Wilfred Monyenye yoge Kisii Central Ward litukolia lero morocha yabase assembly yaito tworokirie NC yaitengima ya Kenya na gusiengima egento twakolire ntoche tiga iga twachole toje kuna goseria abana baitu kurwe gasi egento lera baheshimiwa mwakorire mwezi nke muno mugaka wekenyoro gaiga nko bakera ngambu yamono egente getigage kome korurero ntogoza kuna koleterwa abana baito ngana butogoja kuna ko impeach elinde batige kigazi no mwana Ndemo no mwana mokesa otwachikoligereri muna abantu balitochorire tutageti gosiria obogima bwoyo minto Ndemo igontwe county ya Assembly kotate kuwaka 13 elinde torolengaki togo kolegasi amuna abaishimiwa kwa sababu egasi yaito igere mara gatatu to represent to oversight to registrate ntu achete gaiga kuna kuimbikia abantu egasi yaito bono ya oversight ndoje ya chaki ibona ino abana limwaro likiaba maria gotogotebia abantu baita ba MCA ababaka 43 egento bakolire genya saba seni tokonya abana baito ende na lina barabuo baranyore egasi gukimutwe nonye gasi county go chakwera 2027 igona kitwarigereria twabamo twatebanga yenteke Ndemo tari guchiandi Ndemo no ale muna SEC ya administration osasara abangwe nexagati ntunta itikomanya igo lero twamwiraniri officially nganere omu minister yomobo we county ya Kisii.
Na habari ya mjambo. Mimi naitwa Dennis Omachi. Mimi ndio kiongozi wa walio wachache katika bunge letu la Kisii. Na leo tumekuwa na mambo mengi tangu asubuhi. Na saa hizi tulikuwa na ratiba ya kuangalia katika motion ya kuchukua ama kuhakikisha waziri ambaye anasimamia mambo ya ofisi ya gavana Dr. Ndemo na vile mmeona waheshimiwa wamepiga kura 44 wakisema kwamba daktari abaki. Hiyo ni kwamba tumeangalia sababu ambazo zimewekwa huko na tukaona kwamba asitoshi. Si kwa ile kwa Kiingereza tunasema they did not meet the threshold. Kusema kwamba yeye alikuwa na askari wa enforcement anamfuata kutoka nyuma, hatukuona kama hiyo. So tumesema waje arudi, gavana wafanye kazi pamoja na nafanya kwa ofisi ya gavana. Na wakati nilikuwa katika kamati ile ambayo ilikuwa inafanya vetting, Dr. Ndemo ndiye alikuwa the best. Alipata max 91. He's a very brilliant man. So tumemwambia gavana kwamba wakati kuna njia zingine. Halafu sababu ya pili, kule msikie nikuambia, sisi kama bunge hatuwezi kuwa kwamba tunaharibu karia za watu ambao wamesoma. Unajua kusoma kwa kufika PhD sio kitu rahisi. So tukipata makosa katika serikali, kuna njia zingine za kuweza kununua maneno. Ndio tunasema kwa gavana na serikali kwamba waangalie maneno. Ndio sababu watu ni wengi, vijana ni wengi wanatafuta kazi kwa serikali. Wasiwe na hofu kwamba wakipatiwa kazi kila siku wakikosana kidogo, huenda ikawa hata sio gavana anajua. Kuna watu katika idara ambao wamekosana na yeye. Hivyo sisi tumetuma hiyo signal kwamba yeye akiona makosa inatosha na waje arudi kazi. Tatu ni kwamba tumesema, unajua saa zingine tunaangalia wakati uleta mwanzo niwaambia kutoa waziri is not a matter of county importance. Tuko na mambo mengi ambayo tunaketi tunataka kutatua kama serikali na sisi kama upande wa upinzani, ili tuweze kurekebisha watu wetu wapate maendeleo. Kwa hivyo wakati tutapata nafasi tutaketi chini ili tuweze kuendelesha serikali ama utumishi kwa wananchi. Tunashukuru na nyinyi kwa kufika karibu na kukaa na kuona vile tunafanya. Kaunti kuangalia kazi ambayo inaratibishwa na gavana. Kwa hivyo yeye ametuletea na sisi tumeangalia tukasema sivyo. Na nafikiri yeye ataangalia na report ziko, atasikia michango yetu na ataona jinsi ataweza. Lakini ni kweli kwamba waheshimiwa hajafurahi kwa sababu tangu tuje hapa tumepatia mawaziri kazi na sasa ni kuwatoa. Hatujaona ile kazi amefanya. Na muomba gavana alete mawaziri wake, awape jembe, awape vifaa warudi. Kwa sababu tukienda huko mashinani watu wanatuuliza kazi zimeenda wapi. Tunachelewa kwa sababu hii mwaka 24 tunaingia budget ya 3 ambayo tunatengeneza saa hizi, itaanza kazi mwezi wa 7. Kwa hivyo tunataka kuona kazi ikifanyika. na waziri hawezi kuwa mmoja, wako na cabinet, so kuna ile collective responsibility, na mwenyekiti wa cabinet ni governor mwenyewe. Kwa hivyo hata yeye akiangalia mambo ikifanyika, lazima angalia ajue hii wakati mawaziri wangu wanashindwa kutimiza kazi, wakati kuna kelele wanafanya kazi, kuna shida mahali ama iko namna gani. Ni kweli kwamba anaweza akachunguza aone ni nini.
Impeachment motion ya Ndemo judges ya Assembly. And I want to say huko impeachment ya motion ya Ndemo is an indication nga wananchi sibaikere batagete tokore exercise yo ko impeach abantu because itari ya mirimo ya dorede dese ya Assembly. Or I want to say chinguru eji chinyinge tubwata instead to chibeka sama na impeachment kono tigato chibeke sama gendro tuchake kumanya mijando y'abananchi bari batwagerete chikora ontagete gusaba nga chinga kijete chinyinge gatwira soko discuss ya mangana y'amagendo tumanye chipara chiazarekire tumanye birasi byazarekire tumanye mangana ya maji because unabona embranja atwa yuria rais unabona abantu baitumba kwa atia maji bakunywa ngakiare goja go byo tunabaishimiwa tubuke kuruchitoro ime turia rais nga ninki y'abananchi baito batutumetaiga tuichokora finally tagete gusaba the Kisii County government tochi chamo na barai tubeke differences chitokana turia rais our mandate as MCAs erinde tokonya abananchi bari batuwagerete chikura yuria rais emyaka ebere yarere since we came into office lakini nturabe bwachi kwa mangana ali twatebeti abage chikura ngakiare go buya asama tukaya tigarete ara ba around 3 years now tokora yara maya erinde go tokoina asaba 2027 at least to tuare kitoko